back to the Crimson 15 Podcast. I'm your host, Crimson 10.
And 15 BCA.
Be sure to follow us over on Twitter at C15 Podcast. Join the discussion over on Discord. Link in the description below. And if you like the videos, be sure to sub, share, like, and hit that bell for notifications. So, on the next episode of All About the Orville Comments, where we go back in the previous episode and read the comments and respond and everything. So, Identity Part 2, could have been a season finale. I want to say season finale, but it's not.
Yeah.
It just felt that way. Because
it could have been a cliffhanger, too, which would have been worse. But yeah, they could have did that, too.
So, we start with the most popular comment, then we work our way down. Our first one's from The Soul of the Dragon. That space battle, that ending. This episode does... if this episode doesn't get Orville in season 3, we riot. Yeah, this was sci-fi everything. Everything you want in a sci-fi show was in these two parts.
I want to say this right now. This episode would guarantee you get season 3, 4, and 5. That's how good it was. It was incredible. Everything you want. And those special effects, I've never seen some special effects in Space Battle ever. You can compare it against movies. It's not close.
Yeah, it's absolute movie quality. It's even better than some movies.
Yeah, it is.
It's right up there with the last couple of Star Wars films.
Yeah.
Their space battles.
Yeah, insane.
If not, it was even more chaotic.
Oh, yeah, it's what made it cool.
I love the space battle that was in Rogue One. This is better than that.
Yeah.
And that was a freaking movie.
Yep.
And we had a response to that. Nick Rococo. He says, Soul the Dragon, we go Kalan on Fox a lot. Yeah, we're all gonna just rush them if they don't get a season 3.
Oh, yeah, I know, right?
But it's being received very well, and this season's also being received very well by critics. Yep. Is that because Disney bought Fox, or if they saw the light and realized this is actually a good show? I'll take it either way.
Yeah, we'll take it, even though with the reasoning behind it.
I want more Orville.
Yep.
Multi Ranch 92. I felt it was interesting because the Kalons are not supposed to have feelings, yet Isaac is full of love and Primary is full of hate. Like, the way he was like punishing the humans, those are the same things that their masters did to them.
Yep.
It's funny, they don't have feelings, but at the same time, it's like, whoa, that was a hateful thing to do.
Well, it kind of reminds me of the episode in Next Generation when their sentient being took, it wasn't sentient yet, but kind of put his conscience into the Enterprise, and it became a good thing. And then it's like, well, and we asked Picard, why did you word that? Well, it's the sum of its parts. It became good because we're good. We try to do the right things. And see, those builders did bad things, so he learned from that, and that's why he became wicked because of it.
That's so funny. Like, you're a product of your environment in some ways.
And that's it became true here in this case.
They literally used the same tactics that they did that was used to oppress them on other people.
Yep.
Well, is that right?
No.
Is that the righteous thing to do?
No, it's not.
Yeah, so it's
do it in the name of we're preserving ourselves. Well, no one's bothering you. There was no reason to do that.
Nuki says, anyone got the Top Gun, Iceman, Maverick Easter egg that Malloy says, just a walk in the park, Kowalski. Just love Malloy, he's so funny. I didn't catch that, but when people are saying, like, oh yeah, you did say that to him in Top Gun.
Yeah, he did.
He looks over at him. It's so silly. That you can, if you follow Scott Grimes on Twitter, he got to keep that little helmet.
Yeah,
it's like, this is so cool.
He's all messing with it and everything. It is a cool looking helmet.
If you guys join our Discord, and we post all the behind the scenes stuff there on that Discord server, so check it out there. It's really, really funny. The whole cast just loves the show, and they share it on Twitter all the time. They're always talking about it.
And you can tell they enjoy it, and they enjoy working with each other. It was just perfect how McFarlane did this.
SJ Pace 1776. Well, we see where the budget went to. That battle scene is up there with the best of Trek for me. Chaotic, but steady camera work never confused me as what was happening. I loved how many of the characters got a chance to shine in this episode. Felt like the culmination of years. I really hope we get a third season and a 2-parter representation for the moment of the Orville has finally arrived. And that's funny. It does feel like this is season 6. And this is the major battle thing. No, season 2.
Yeah, technically it is years, but we're talking 2 years. That's how we're talking, guys.
Crazy.
20th episode.
Philip Tom, Isaac evolved. He exceeded the limits of his programming. Yeah, I would, in every sense of the word, he has evolved.
Yep.
Because he learned to love these children and care for them. He doesn't want them to get hurt.
I'd say even evolved even more than Data in a lot of ways.
Kinda.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, though, where people, I don't know, if Ty wasn't in the room and it was just some other person, would he have done the same thing?
I think he might have went with it, but eventually he would have to make a decision because they would have killed the whole crew. So it would have happened then or later. It came to a head. at that point.
Turrican Rex says, this episode was so intense and yet humor was spot on. When they shot Tala, I was shocked. I was so shocked when the Kalons threw that person out of the airlock. I had a feeling that everything could happen in this episode and everything was at stake. The space battle was phenomenal and so intense. The special effects were really unbelievably good for a TV show. This episode was amazing. By the way, the name was inspired by the old C64 Amiga Turrican. Yeah, those games are cool. Yeah. If you can get your hands on like a old emulator or whatever for the Turrican games, are actually like, because we never had computers like that growing up. We always had Nintendo, Super Nintendo. But I went back and played those games. They're cool. Yeah. But everything that kept happening was like, damn.
I was on the edge of my seat the whole time. My mouth was like, wow, this is incredible.
F Cool D. The great thing about the Thai part is they found a way for the kid to help without Mary suing the kid. What he did was something a kid could do, though I know he wouldn't have gotten away because he was the key to turning Isaac. Yeah, I remember how like he had to like do the space background noise. Yeah. That is something a kid could do. Yeah. Especially a smart kid. He's really smart.
Yeah, and like even when Yempeg was saying, oh, I do this, it wasn't do this complicated thing. Oh, just push buttons. Well, a kid could do that.
Yeah. And that was a cool way to involve the kid without it being like ridiculously stupid. Because that does happen in a lot of shows. Like some other kid does like this, oh, I know this computer hacking thing. He didn't have to do anything like that. No. You Go War responded to that. I was fully expecting to see Isaac save the day somehow. And by expecting, I mean fearing that the writers would make it that obvious and cheesy lazy. And it was refreshing to see that it turned out not to really be the case. I mean, yes, he saved the Orville crew, but in terms of saving Earth and the Union, it was basically Yamfit, foreshadowing the Norm Macdonald being created on part 1, yet not actually appearing then. And Ty did it. Without them, there would be nothing no more than a warning message to Earth and no shuttle escape to enlist the help of the Krill. By the time that Isaac turned, the die was cast already. Had Isaac not turned, it would have been just one more Union ship on the bad guy's side in the grand scheme of things. It wouldn't have made much of a difference given the firepower the Kalons already possessed. And that was cool that it wasn't just one character.
No.
That everyone got to be a hero and got to shine.
Like I said, this felt like the episode when they had to fight Lucius to the board. Mm-hmm. It was a team effort. It wasn't just one person.
I wish more, certain movies realize that it's not just one character that...
Jeez, what movies do we know that are coming out within hours right now?
Nick Ruku, again, I apologize for messing up people's names. I have been counting the seconds to this episode. It was this episode, and it was worth the wait. Yeah, I'm so glad that there are a week between each episodes.
It feels amazing.
I hate binging. I can't stand it. That I like the idea of watching something, reflecting, thinking.
Yeah, especially something like sci-fi that needs that. You need to think about it. It's not something that's a comedy. No, this is something you need to really.
I would have been like if Orville was on Netflix and we were watching like maybe a couple episodes every day just to keep up with the fandom, and then all of a sudden someone watched every episode straight through and then they spoil everything.
Yeah, exactly.
I hate that.
Yep.
Sit there, watch it, enjoy it, digest it, and think.
And people do that on YouTube too. Yeah. That would happen easily.
Unhappy thoughts. Love the commentary. Y'all get cameras and edit some clips together, and we're listening. The problem is with that, we used to show clips and pictures, but Fox would shut me down.
Yep.
So I don't want to run the risk of being shut down. So I just have like the logo.
Exactly. And the thing is, I would love to, especially for Orville, something that we really care about, but we can't.
Fox, MGM, Lionsgate,
and Hasbro,
Hasbro, Lionsgate, or okay. They will shut a video down if you show pictures.
Yep.
I have no idea why. I've gotten a couple of them appealed. Like, I remember a couple of Hasbro ones, but then the couple of ones they didn't appeal them. So it's like, I'm not going to run the risk of losing the monetization over wanting to show pictures, even though other people who have whole clips with no commentary or anything, but whatever. Again, I would really love to use clips, but that's just the way it is.
Yep.
Unless I don't, and it's funny because you can't get like a straight answer.
No.
Like Fox won't say, "Oh yeah, by the way, you're allowed to do this." It's all vague.
Yeah, exactly. So you have no idea what you're doing wrong.
Yeah, that's how it is.
Yeah.
Daniel, your last name is a mystery to me for all time and eternity, but it's up there on screen. Seth MacFarlane is a great writer. I think he writes more episodes this year, and he truly is the mastermind behind the series. I do really like the humor, though, and even though I truly appreciate that, I can't take the issues and stakes seriously. I really hope he won't tone down the humor too much. The balance between humor and drama is what gives the series its edge. My next wish would be to have a new introduction, a new race, or delve more into that one they're already a part of the Union. Yes, the Mocklins are great, but apart from them, how much do we know about the other Union races? Oh yeah, the Xylons, Alaris people. Again,
the
Zillayans. I keep messing that up.
Zillayans, yeah.
But still, give us more. We see a bunch of crazy alien races like on the Orville.
Yeah.
There's that dude with the 3 eyes. There's the bartender guy. There's all these different races.
You're the one who talks right at Star Wars. He's so cool.
Yeah, he's a cool
guy.
And then there's even the like that. Remember that big blob guy that made the porno tape?
Yeah. That's what that was talking about. Yeah, the Star Wars guy. Yeah.
So it's like there's a lot here.
Unique and amazing. Like, wow, these all look like different alien races. They don't look similar in any way. And the thing is, like you were saying about like with like I'm trying to remember what he said. He's talking about the in that part. I forgot. I'm sorry. What did he say again?
With who?
The guy we were just doing the
but the Mocklins, what?
Oh no, not the Mocklins. He was talking about the other alien races and everything. Like, yeah, we need to dive in. But remember, it's only season 2.
Yeah.
Guys.
We're on 2 seasons in.
Yeah, exactly. You can't.
We can. It's so funny. You could just run off and do a whole episode without any of the crew. Just some wacky adventure on some planet where how they made. I would like to see a perspective of an alien race that somehow they made when they made contact with Orville and it went smooth.
Yeah.
And it's like from their perspective though, not from the Union's perspective, but from
I bet you we might get that.
I think that'd be kind of cool.
That'd be cool too.
Even if it's a flashback or something.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool. Caveat lector. Gotta love the moment of levity. Malloy's attempted to talk to the Kaylon Guardian. He's like trying to like smooze him. That's not
only Malloy would do that. So he's like, see, that's the thing. I understand the other. Oh yeah, he was. I remember now. He's talking about the humor. How like sometimes it's good, but sometimes maybe it's not. So maybe it's a little too pronounced. Here's the thing about that. If the characters weren't so charming and likable, it'd really be bad. But you like the characters. You can get away with it.
You care about everybody.
Yeah, you do.
There's not a single character on this show where I'm like, oh God, I hope they die, or no, I hate when they're on screen. No, I like everybody.
No, everyone.
The moments of silliness, Malloy again behind the controls of a Krill fighter, acting cocky and kicking ass. The moments of brutality, the spacing of the engineer tech to impress upon Captain Mercer the cost of resistance. That was a major, the expanse and the type of the Holy S moment. They pulled out no punches and even showed the floating corpse. The moments of bargaining, Isaac attempting to advocate for mercy for both the doomed crewman and Ty's case. The moments of courage in the face of futility, seeing that the Union Armada at the ready to protect Earth, shades of the Battle of the Line in Babylon 5, moments of glorious battle, actually witnessing the ship-to-ship combat instead of getting shown the aftermath, the best of both worlds part 2, and some great special effects, a feast for the yes, it was. The moment of huzzah when the Krill Armada drops out of quantum to save the adversaries from a great threat. The Krill may be zealots, but they do display common sense in recognizing it would not be wise to feed the crocodile or allow it to feed. The hopes that it would be left or last as they do. Yeah, that's the funny thing because they came to the conclusion, they're going to just move on to us.
Yep.
And we're better, stronger, strong alone, united, stronger together.
Yeah, yep.
And for many other great moments jam-packed in this episode, it's credit to the writers of the show who got so much without sorting any of the story threads and making it look overdone. The show deserves all the accolades it's been receiving from fans. Identity Part 1 and 2 show that the Orville delivers. Yeah, it's so funny because when this show first got announced, I was a little shaky on it, but I instantly fell in love with it. And this is the culmination of all that. And it's only 2 seasons.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is, guys, when I first saw it, I was like, okay, so something like this. But when he said, oh, serious, so okay. Then right there, a lot of people didn't hear that interview from McFarlane early on, so people didn't understand it was going to be a little more serious. And then when I saw those graphics, I go, okay, this might be something. Because you don't put those kind of graphics in a show, it's going to be silly. It's just not going to happen.
Dimitri Yar, Part 1 and 2, was this a double TV episode, or was that a cinema movie? That was the Krill for Discovery. Sorry, Mickey Mouse Spock. They just did it better.
Oh, yeah.
Orville just does it better.
And the funny thing, he was talking, not this guy, but the other guy was talking about the little ship that what it was in. I watched it behind the scenes of Twitter. Well, all it was just 2 guys controlling it like this on the outside. Like, that's kind of cool.
The little tricks and everything.
Yeah, low budget, low tech. That was cool. To make it go back and forth.
Eaton Collin?
Yeah.
Star Trek is dead. Time to admit it and say goodbye. To paraphrase the Klingons, it doesn't matter what CBS does with the corpse. It's merely an empty shell. The Orville is not the new Star Trek. The Orville is something far, far grander. The Orville is the Orville. Now get me some GD damn action figures already. We'll repost in other videos.
I've been wanting action figures too, and I mistake these little toys as being the action figures.
They're making Hero Clicks.
Yeah.
And it's part of a tabletop game.
Yeah.
And they're probably maybe an inch tall.
See, I want like real toy figures.
Yeah, collectible, something from again, let's get another McFarlane on this.
I would save up money and get one of those. Now here's the thing. I'm gonna say I don't think Star Trek's dead, but they're killing it. They are with the modern Star Trek. They are killing it.
They're beating the crap out of it.
Yeah, they are. It's in life support. Let's be honest about that.
Trek is the rabid dog tied to the tree, and they're just bashing it over the head with a shovel.
Yeah, exactly.
It's sad
Gotta
to see.
stop, guys.
Power of K. Love this episode. It was so epic. As you guys said, this part 2 episode could have made a great movie. As you see, the episode is why the character episodes mattered, especially with the ones with Isaac and Claire, and why the episode with the Krill and Captain Mercer mattered. Without these character development, especially with Isaac, this 2-parter would have never had the impact that it had. Sure, it would have been an awesome space battle on par with Star Wars and the Star Trek movies, but the impact was made by having us really care about the characters. And yes, many of the characters had chances at being heroes. They all needed to work as a team together, though. The biggest hero, though, Ty. Ty caring so much about Isaac was the reason why the crew found out about the biologicals and the Kalan massacre. Ty was the one who was able to get the distress signal through, and it was Ty unbending faith in Isaac that was finally be able to convince Isaac to turn on his own people, even though Isaac had some misgivings before. Seeing Ty tear up must have had an effect on him somehow, enough to completely override his programming. Yet, at the same time, everyone's ideas of helping came through. Every single long shot possibility, and it had to, because we can't have Earth destroyed halfway through season 2. And that's the thing. I love the team effort. I like how the other commenter said Ty helped out so much, but it didn't feel stupid and forced. No. It felt like that's something that he would really do. And exactly. He did love Isaac, and he was never going to give up on him.
No, and he didn't.
Even when Claire kind of did, everyone kind of did, but Ty didn't.
No, because that's the whole love of a child when they love an adult, But it's touching. But there's the thing. Now you guys are saying it. I would love to see an Orville movie. Man, we need to get an Orville movie. Come on, let's do it, guys.
There can be 600 Trek movies. Why can't there be one Orville?
I'd go see that in a heartbeat, man.
Lord LaRouche. Again, what was that anime? The one with the guy with the eyeball, and he can make you kill yourself.
Oh, yeah, you're...
Kokias. That's what that is. that one.
And they go, suicide. That's stupid. I don't care for the movie.
It's silly, but I just remember that name. The space battle was amazing. Gives me feelings of DS9 Dominion War with no lens flare and shaky cam. Cough, cough, STD. Yeah, exactly. Keep the camera straight. Let us see it. Yeah. Don't hide it behind filters and all this weird stuff. We got to see everything.
Yeah.
That you can go frame by frame and it's just beautiful.
You could actually hang that on your wall. That's how amazing it was.
Some of those shots, especially over the moon, just do a panoramic, picture. Incredible. Bam, put that over your couch.
That was incredible.
Freaking awesome.
Yeah, it was.
Billy Deerhead. We'll take this paragraph by paragraph. He states, that was absolutely freaking incredible. I've seen every episode of every good Star Trek series, every Star Trek movie, episodes 1 through 7 of the Star Wars movies, and I've never seen a space battle that crazy before. The competition between the Orville and Star Trek Discovery is officially stone cold dead. You are done, Discovery. Make like Forrest Gump and run and take your third season with you. It's over.
I think it was over from the first episode on. Sorry.
There's certain things about Discovery I like. Cyril Pike when he's not being cucked in Pipe when he's being Captain Pike, and I like Stamets when he's being the.
I'm not sure about Taylor yet. Maybe Taylor will grow on me again.
But there's a couple little things like Orville. I can't stop talking about.
No, you can't.
It goes on and on and on.
Yeah, it's not right now. I hate to say it right now. Right now, Orville is treading towards DS9 and Next Generation. Yeah. He blew out all the other Star Trek shows. Let's just be honest.
They passed up
Voyager and Enterprise and all that.
As cool, he continues on. As cool as I thought it would be for Isaac to become the villain, I'm a sucker for a happy ending. So I'm much happier that things ended the way they did. As part of the, Isaac was able to redeem himself, or at least begin the process of redeeming himself without violating what we know of his character. He made a choice based on his own experiences, and because of his experiences were so different from those of the older Kalons, his choice was completely different from theirs. And that is writing. It is easily accepted because it makes perfect sense. It's hard to think the Kalons as a hive mind robot race because they give the same feelings as the Borg, but every Kalon is his own unique AI. And although they can share data with each other, they are each their own mind and make their own choices, as it opens up to many possibilities for different Kalon groups to have their own opinions and their own choices as well. Not sure how many new Kalons been built since the builders were wiped out, but they could start an uprising against the older Kalons in favor of peace and coexistence with biological life forms. I remember I brought that up, like, ooh, what if there's going to be splinter groups? And they're like, oh, that Isaac one, he has the right idea. There's why we don't need to go to war.
But it's so funny about it when you look at Isaac as a character. They maybe build him too well. They made him too accommodating to humans, so that way he got the compassion that they don't have. Yeah, it's more built for that.
And remember how Kalon Prime kept asking Isaac, is like, are you feeling like not remorse? What did he say to him? It's like, are you having feelings of
not resentment? I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, he was saying like that. He's like, oh, that's impossible.
Empathy.
Yeah, he's like, empathy. Yeah, he kept saying that. And he's like, well, it's impossible. We're Kalons. We can't feel empathy. Maybe he asked him like 3 times. So maybe there's more to the Kalons than they even know.
Yeah.
Maybe they are capable of real feelings and they're just being told that they can't be.
Well, the funny thing is maybe when they're making the new Kalons, maybe that could be the rift. Because I think the old ones that did the killing are not going to change.
Yeah, that were present.
Yeah.
It continues on. When Mercer started talking about going to the Krill for help, I was immediately reminded of season 2 finale of Reboot. Remember Reboot? That was a fun show.
Yeah, it was.
Where Megabyte waited for that monster from the web and to wipe out enough of Mainframe's defense forces before sending in his own army to help. Then when the portal of the web was closed, Megabyte turned in forces against the Mainframe and took over the city. I was starting to think that the Krill would take advantage of the crippled Union fleet and conquer Earth, and we'd wind up with a part 3. Thankfully, that didn't happen, most likely because the Krill fleet got stomped pretty hard by the Kalons, and we weren't in any shape to cause any trouble after that everything was over. Then the preview for the next episodes, we got to see John Fleck, who played the antagonist. Silk in Star Trek Enterprise is playing a Krill once again. Trek alumni coming out on board for the Orville, and I loved it.
Even more than Enterprise Discovery.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
But Reboot was an old CGI cartoon series that was on ABC. It's really hard to look at now.
Oh, yeah.
But when it first came out, it was actually really cool. So if you wanted to check out some like old cartoon sci-fi, it's worth checking.
Little fun fact, me and Crimson, one time we lived in Vegas.
There was a ride.
And there was a ride at Circus that had the Reboot thing in it. And it was cool as heck. They took it out because they allowed all CGI type of rides.
Oh, yeah, it was like one of those things, but it was pretty cool. I remember
the Grand Slam and Circus, so cool. So cool.
But I was even thinking then like, oh man, why don't they do that? Oh, while we're here, let's just turn our ships around and go towards Earth.
Yeah.
But I think they felt again, they were pretty beat up too because they first started out, but then the Kalons started destroying their ships. It was only taking them 1 or 2 hits to blow these ships up. But the overwhelming numbers.
Yeah, remember Halsey said they only destroyed 6 of theirs. We destroyed 38 of ours.
Yeah,
it's 38 to 6 clip. That's like 1 out of 4.
Yeah, we're getting stomped pretty
4
bad.
to 1. Yeah,
and then maybe the best friends are forged in battle, so maybe this
exactly.
Continues on. As you guys pointed out, everyone got to be the hero in this episode. Yafid stepping up and vowing to protect Ty without any suggestive quips and getting pretty messed up in the process. Kelly trying to convince the Krill captain to come to the aid of the Union. Ty willing to risk his own life to help the crew, knowing full well the entire planet Earth was at stake. Molloy piloting a Krill ship like one of the guys straight out of Top Gun. Mercer ready to sacrifice himself and his ship, but not his crew, to stop the Kalons from attacking Earth. And the topper for all of them, Isaac tearing the head off the Kalon Prime and then blasting every Kalon on the bridge. Good God, that was amazing television. It was just so much fun.
That's compelling.
And you felt... I felt I felt a sense of pride in how everyone stepped it up, and every single character was doing the best they could. It was the 25th hour.
Yeah, and the funny thing, I like what Isaac said after he goes, what did he say? The imperfection is complete after he did that. Yeah, you're the one that needs to be deleted. Yeah. You're a piece of crap.
The deactivation.
Yeah, complete. I love that. That was so cool.
He snapped his head right off. Like, It's so funny because he was able to get the drop on all the other ones.
Because they were shocked. They would never think.
They didn't even put up a fight because he just gunned them all down. Yeah. I just got to use those head guns some more.
That's so cool. So the time they're on that moon planet, he could have used those. He didn't have to even use the handgun.
I think it was probably like they were turned off or something.
Probably.
And that space battle was completely beyond amazing. I know. I know that the kind of budget they spent on this episode, but good lord, they got their money's worth. I heard people talking about the time that how expensive every episode of Discovery is, and how sure as hell haven't produced anything even close to this good. There are secretly a single moment during the battle that wasn't 100 ships on screen constantly shooting each other. The other ships, one ship after another, getting blasted into pieces and pieces of debris flying everywhere. The Orville and half a dozen ships chasing the Kalons, making the run on Earth, just getting picked off one by one of them scrapping along the Orville. Chunks of the hull getting blown off, people being blown into outer space. The Krill showing up, and finally the screen of blue and red and green lasers. And without a doubt, the single most intense thing I've ever seen in the last 10 years. The absolute roller coaster of emotion and excitement was totally made me feel like a kid again. It was all so crazy, I couldn't even sit still. And when it was all over, the Krill actually left peacefully. I breathed a sigh of huge relief and thought, damn, dude, I need a cigarette after that. It was just, that space battle.
You can literally take, it was amazing. You could take all the different camera angles they didn't use, and you probably couldn't get everything. I think in our lifetimes, we couldn't see all the battles that were happening in that. It was so many.
It was so cool.
Oh,
and again, incredible. Because you had the Union blue, the Kalon red, and then you had the Krill green. So you're just seeing...
Oh, that's such a cool difference.
You're just seeing crap going everywhere.
Yeah. And the scene when they were on the Orville ship, they showed that the hallway get blown out and they got sucked into space. That reminded me of the scene in, they use it all the time in Star Trek when a Klingon thing gets destroyed, and they use it from the third movie where they get sucked out. That's such a cool looking thing.
Because,
you're just gone. You're done. There's nothing you can do about you.
Then thank McFarlane, Yamfit lived and helped reactivate Isaac. And as crazy as the space battle was, I would have to say my favorite part of the episode when Dr. Finn was talking to Isaac. He brushes off her words of consolation as cliche, and always Dr. Finn shows off how incredibly wise character she is, and says that line, cliches become cliches precisely because they're valid enough to bear endless repetition. Hearing that one line was like looking into a piece of art. The show is something masterfully created dialogue and storytelling, interesting and lovable characters, thought-provoking dilemmas, and hopeful attitude towards this future, and some seriously kick-butt action and special effects. You can just talk as about other shows anymore. Not after this episode, because Orville fully demonstrated it takes every element and makes a great sci-fi show and fills in each box with a 10. It has problems here and there, but overall you just take it in as it is. These two episodes are just great.
Yeah.
I mean, how could you not have fun watching this?
Yeah, because if we think about it, every show has some problems here and there, but they're so minor, it doesn't affect the overall enjoyment of the show.
And finishes up. I look forward to spending the better part of the next 10 years watching the Orville week to week, knowing certainly that the show will continue to impress, inspire, and entertain myself and countless others every time. I also look forward to seeing how many awards McFarlane and the entire cast and crew of the Orville will be accepting. They've certainly earned an armful of everything that they've done here.
They've been on some Emmys. They got to win some of those.
At least for if there's anything for special effects and like sound design and stuff, there's no other show that even compares.
Top notch.
I mean, even shows like Game of Thrones and all that kind of stuff. This is so much better.
Oh yeah, it is.
And it's hopeful, and it's not. It doesn't have to resort to sex and violence for everything.
Stuff,
it's just a good show.
Yeah, and I love how he said the next 10 years. Wouldn't it be fun if they did the 7 like Star Trek usually does? I wonder if that's going to be the. I wonder.
Yeah, but for the 7.
I wouldn't even mind a spin-off. I know we're a long ways from that, but give me a spin-off, so I wouldn't mind that.
Lord LaRouche again. I cheered when Isaac turned to them to save the crew and kill. And the Krill and come in and remind me of the Klingons in DS9. See, it's that whole, it kind of had that whole situation with the Romulans. How they're enemies, but we had to get them in the war. We had to pull them in. And even though they didn't do like a trickery like how Cisco did, it was important to bring in those because they knew that they're coming for you next.
Yeah, it's so funny about that because, yes, they have a lot of Romulans in them, but they're Romulans with a Bajor faith in religion. Mm-hmm. Usually all the big enemies in Star Trek don't believe in religion. No, that's stupid and silly and believe in the big government, big state, So it's weird that was a different contrast, I think, with the Krill. Yeah, and when Isaac saved Ty, I was like, yes, I can like you again. I can care about you. Yeah, we can't buy Isaac merch now. Come on, man. If he would have went through with it.
People just saying, great episode, Jeremy Strickland. Something domain. The Orville is the Trek we needed. Yeah, this was.
Yeah, thank goodness for it.
That's exactly what McFarlane said. He's like, there's a void on television for hopeful sci-fi. Everything's dystopian. Everything's dark and dreary, and No,
and only enough, that was the same thing when Gene Roddenberry first made Star Trek in the 60s. The same thing.
The same exact.
Oh, yeah. Or too silly and goofy.
KJH. Star Trek Disco what? The Orville is here. I expected to hear about the multi-year renew very soon after this one because they've earned it with this two-parter. Real consequences, steady pacing, ensemble crew working together, enemy of my enemy, the battle that rivaled the best of sci-fi ever, Isaac ripping off Primary's head was akin to Data experiencing anger for the first time. I do agree with Admiral Halsey though. They went really easy on Isaac, but they can always rely on EMP if they needed it. You know, Gordon was in one of those fighters for himself. Yeah, I know. He should have his own little personal krill fighter just for himself.
Oh, yeah, you know he doesn't have it. That'd be funny. He takes it in the movies off.
Yeah, just so many marquee moments that this two-parter hit. It just, check the box. Awesome, 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 awesome.
The thing I will say about Orville, and it's an overall theme, it seems like when I think this applies to all the captain. The captain wants to do something, the Admiral wants to do another. It seems like the captain wins out in this show.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like it. Like in Star Trek, there'd be a little more pushback.
But the thing is, the captain's there on the ship, not the Admiral.
Yeah.
He can only say things.
So it's funny that I think in this series, I think the captains have more say.
Izzy's mom won. Nice Doctor Who nod to Captain Dalek of the Krill with the Daleks.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not a huge fan of Doctor Who, but I do know the Daleks are those weird robot things.
Yeah, exterminate.
Yeah. Jeffrey Grimm. And then the Orville became more Trek than Trek. Identity has replaced Best of Both Worlds as my favorite Star Trek story, and they pulled out all the stops on their sci-fi budget. Yeah, if you took this two-parter and just swapped in Federation characters and that, it fits in the best of everything else.
The thing is, I still want to do a poll. What you think, like Best of Both Worlds or this? I think it's close.
It's pretty damn. They're both super enjoyable.
Yeah,
and there's a lot of years separating these two things, but damn, this was just so good.
Amazing.
Philip Tom, the value of the character episodes is grave. The peril of the crew faced actually weighed. We were actually invested in the fate. Yeah, without all those little character moments from the other episodes, Bortus and his husband and how that's working out, everything. It means something because we don't want him to die because we know intimate knowledge of him.
It's funny because McFarlane probably knew the comments saying, "Oh, a lot of these character episodes, he's just sitting back like in a poker table. He's got a royal flush. Like, don't worry, guys, it's gonna pay off." Basically just what he wanted to say.
Who cares about this stupid relationship thing? But now you cared about him.
Yeah,
because when you know someone intimately, their hopes and fears and their doubts, you can't help but care for them.
Exactly.
And now you're in this giant battle. You're thinking one more shot, the Orville goes down. It's just.
And even Isaac had doubts, even in that episode with Finn, where he missed that calculation, which he should never be able to do because he even got affected by it.
The Master says, I love how you can tell the difference in tactics on both sides of the space battle. You can tell the Kalons are ruthless and overconfident with how they just don't shooting at the Union ships. They are also ramming ships as well. Also, the Orville and the Krill returned to the front lines. You can clearly saw that a bunch of their ships are lining up to meet their enemies head on. But the Unions are the one who got caught off guard, and they are getting desperate in how they went off shooting down the Kalons or to ramming them. Finally, Ed prepared to sacrifice the Orville in order to prevent the Kalons from reaching Earth. Also, does this there would be more of a movie nights for Ed and Tala in the future? Yeah, I know, right? If this opens up that. I'm thinking, would it be great if they do like an emissary type situation and it's her?
Yeah, I don't know, like they did with Isaac.
Yeah, kind of how the Kalons did with Isaac. They're going to do that with her. Yeah. And then of course you have to be on the Orville. But I think that would be fun. That would be kind of cool.
That would be fun.
Kevin Jones. Identity Part 2 was an epic conclusion. We had a space battles, unexpected alliances, possible reconciliation, and redemption for Claire and Isaac. And the space battle, it was fantastic. I love the fact that there were the Krill who came in and the Union's aid, hopefully indicating something in the future that they can be friends. Yeah, the best friendships are forged on the battlefield. And because it kind of like, this is their Kittimer moment. Where they're like, hey, you saved our bacon. You pulled us out of the fire.
Yep.
They might have, again, because I don't know if Earth had Earth defenses. Like giant laser cannons in the cities and stuff. We have no idea. But yeah, that would have been one hell of a battle. A lot of people would have died.
It's funny. It's a camera except it's in reverse. It's the humans that need to be saved.
That's just cool.
Yeah.
Algersea, it was an amazing episode. I will have to watch it again, but my first impression fight scenes were Star Trek caliber of the movies. Yeah, exactly. Movie quality.
Yeah, it's past the shows. It's the movies. That's what we got to put it on.
Roy Cyberpunk The Space Battles was so epic it combined both space, sci-fi, and fantasy TV shows and movies that come before. Trek, Star Wars, Stargate, Babylon 5, rolled into one. Yeah, it did everything all those shows did, but somehow made it all great.
Yeah.
Normally when you feel like, oh, it feels like all these different shows, it feels like it's a hodgepodgey. No, this actually it just turned out so
McFarlane
good.
has such a good way of doing it subtly where it just works. It's like he knows how to get all the ingredients from all these shows and making it work.
Lawrence Hedgewood. Interesting, Isaac does have those internal weapons, but didn't or couldn't use them in season 1 episode. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, that's what I said on the moon. Like, why didn't he use them there?
People are commenting back like, well, maybe the writers didn't know, because that's probably the real reason.
Yeah,
like they didn't know exactly. Then there is a good reason for it. Like within the show, his programming, it wasn't unlocked.
Yeah.
But since they went on full war mode, then it got unlocked.
Probably.
But again, what they wanted, because again, technically they wouldn't care if Isaac died, because we got his last report, whatever, it was build another one.
Yeah.
So they
weren't going to activate him.
Yeah.
They were going to keep him deactivated until Merch said no, do it, so they can keep the facade going.
Iron Bubbles Fly So High. Big budget for this episode. Money well spent. I loved it. It would have been awesome if the Krill turned against the Union when the battle was won and the Union fleet was on their knees, only to be scared away last minute by a hodgepodge of secondary fleet that scrambled as soon as possible under Mocklin leadership. It would have made the Krill act more in character as they were presented with this far in the show. It would have been a great opportunity to induce other more race-specific ships and remembers but the world, but who cares? It was still awesome. That would have been kind of cool. I agree. That would have been like because remember, again, we don't know if the because they said they were too far away.
Yeah.
But maybe after the whole battle, maybe they could have came in last second and saw like the Krill were fighting the Union. Well, we better jump on in. And
yeah.
But I think it was enough, and then everyone needed to breathe that sigh of relief. I think McFarlane wanted to give us that moment of, oh, thank God it's over.
Well, but not only that. The Krill wouldn't do that because they realized at that point, well, we still have the Kalon. We got to worry about them. They could just keep making more people.
He continues on. Seth kind of mixed plots of Battlestar Galactica, the Kalon being the Cylons. I mean, they almost sound exactly the same. Boomer, and then later Athena, and then DS9. Krill equals the Romulans, and he did it well. Thumbs up. I wish Isaac will not be easily forgiven by the crew, and he'll have his own redemption arc, same as Athena in Battlestar Galactica. She was a Cylon, and now makes it even worse. It's the same Model 8, same as Boomer, yet she had it from the hatred to resentment, and then to merely distrust, to tolerate, to eventually acceptance and even love. 8 out of 10. 10 being the most unattainable on my scale. So 10's made out of unobtainium. You can't get it. But it's like I just said. It's crazy how you took bits and parts of other things and somehow made it great. Usually it comes off as like forced.
And it felt fresh.
And it felt real and great.
Yeah.
And eventually I would like Isaac's turnaround to redemption take a little while.
I want that episode. I want some resentment.
I don't want it to be instantaneous. Of course, Ty's always going to love him. Yeah. But like the other crew members are like, dude, you set us up. It's still a thing. I know you did the right thing in the end, but a lot of people died. I think
Mercer's okay with it. I think Kelly's okay with it. But I think Boris and like Malloy are like, they were like, keep him deactivated.
Yeah, they're kind of pissed.
And I think him and Finn's relationship shouldn't get back to the way it was for a while.
Yeah.
I'm hoping at least a season or two before they get back to lovey-dovey and all that.
F. Cool D. I wonder if during the war to murder their creators, if the Kalons that tried to protect their people, or if so, I wonder what happened to them. Were they all destroyed, or are they still hiding in the population that could break away and follow Isaac? Yeah, like what if there were splinter groups within the Kalons?
Yeah.
But maybe there might have been, because I'm sure the logically they're like, oh, we have to kill them all. And something like, no, maybe we can still work together because we see Isaac did it.
Yeah.
So maybe it happened before.
Yeah.
So we don't know though. But
because that's an anomaly then.
Yeah.
So maybe that could be something we explore. That's a good way of putting it.
There we go. Shannon Rasmussen again. Did you change your name from Zenith's Third? Because I remember the picture, but not the name though. That was awesome. You got a total sense of hopelessness of the crew, and the Orville tries to warn the Union about what was going to happen. I was kind of hoping that Ed would have some kind of cool passphrase to this old flight instructor from back when they were in the academy instead of using the code 98, because Ed should have figured out the Kalons would have known about their codes, but the moment was still clever and tragic. Yeah, I forgot about that. Remember, he tells them the 13 buttons. So
well, that's the Marine thing,
and then they all died.
Yep.
That whole, all of that guy you knew, the hundreds of people on the ship, just in an instant.
Yep.
Just snuffed out. Isaac's little explanation that killing the other crew will only make the other humans more disobedient and having Primary ignore him was great. Primary's being so spiteful, spiteful little S, treating the organics the same way that the Kalon Masters treated them was great. Kind of hope that this gets brought up later. You become the thing you hate kind of thing. Yeah, you're the hero long enough to become the monster.
Yep.
You can only battle monsters so long before you turn into one.
Yeah.
And they literally became their masters.
Yep.
They're using punishments. They were doing all the little things that they did to them.
Yep.
I guess you learn from the best, right?
Exactly.
Ty was getting on my nerves a bit, constantly trying to run off and do whatever he likes, and there's no consequences for his actions. Yeah, but he's just a boy, but that needs to be addressed. But then he stepped it up and helped the crew and sent out the message to the Union. That is one brave boy there. He's going places. And yeah, to a certain point, I'm like, oh God, he's running off again. Oh, he got freaking Tala shot. Oh, what an idiot. But then he goes,
it's so believable. But you believe what he's doing.
I have nephews that would have done those dumb things.
Yeah.
But then that whole stepping it up and saying, no, Mom, I can do it. I can fit through there. I can help you have faith.
Yeah, and the thing is, from the first season, we were talking about that episode on the moon. But we're talking about when they were just acting up when they're in that runabout, basically. Those are how kids act. I like how Orville really shows that, because in Star Trek, kids are more. No, kids are kids. They're going to still be kids. They're going to do dumb things.
Yeah, even in the future, 1,000 years from now, kids are going to be little freaking idiots.
Yeah, exactly.
Here you go. Yamfit got a moment to shine. I greatly enjoyed his promise to Claire to protect her son. I actually thought Yamfit died for a few minutes, and it was revealed to see him get back and kicking later, because Ty was like calling for help, and he looked all like he wasn't even answering. I'm like, oh God,
he almost did die.
Like, no, Norm Macdonald, no, I love Norm. Norm's so great. And then that moment when he's like, Claire, I will protect your son, and there was no joke.
Yeah.
He wasn't being silly. He wasn't trying to get in her pants. He was just an honest, truthful, I will protect your son. It was powerful. It was so great. Norm is such a great actor. I say he's the funniest man alive.
I'm glad he's working.
He can do, that was drama right there.
Yeah,
and he did it well.
Yeah, he did.
So good. I was surprised and a little confused that they didn't mention, the Xylon, again, I keep messing up their names.
Salayans?
The Salayans. That X is screwing me up. The Salayans at all. I don't think they have much of a military, though.
If they were, they would be an amazing military, but they just don't.
I think they just might be, they have science vessels or something, basic armaments, but I don't think they have enough to battle.
Yeah.
If Union ships are being blown up in two ships, two shots.
Tala, if her family could get up there, because they're all military, but that's it.
Yeah, but they don't have ships.
No, they don't.
Yeah, this isn't like a fist fight,
No.
but yeah, I don't think they could help.
No.
Tala said again, she says that she's from a family of military folk, so unless Zelayan military and literally just people serving on the Union, they should have had a fleet too. Maybe they've been too far away to help. I don't know. I'm just thinking that they don't have much of a physical force.
No.
They probably provide medical ships and that kind of stuff.
I'm pretty sure they have spaceships, but I think they're light spaceship vessels that barely venture off within their solar system. I don't think they go venture out. They're not those kind of ships.
Yeah, I just, because again, the way that they're so anti-military.
Yeah.
They probably just
that's beneath them.
Science, medical, research, that kind of stuff. I got giddy when they thought to go to the Krill for help, enemy of my enemy. Yeah, exactly. Because again, like Kelly said, it's 25th hour. Who cares? I go out there, I get killed. Well, they're going to blow up Earth anyway, so it doesn't matter. And then the Kalons aren't taking prisoners. They're not doing an occupation. No, they're killing everyone.
Out, and then they're going to put all their the Kalons on the planet. That's what they want to do.
The scenes with the Krill were great. Having Kalon just make the perfect setup for the Krill to enter the enemy of my enemy situation was really great. Isaac deciding to turn against the Kalons was awesome. I thought the primary threat was a little too odd, but again, the Kalons are not emotionless as they claim to be. I love the little scene where Ty tells Isaac that they love him, and Isaac starts typing faster. It's one of those things where, like I said, maybe this whole thing not of them not having feelings or empathy, because why would he keep asking him if it wasn't possible?
Yeah,
because wouldn't that be an anomaly of? So I think they do. They can access their feelings, but maybe they're blocked.
Maybe their emotional thing, and maybe his didn't. He has his on. So,
And and the space battle, the different Union ships, the sheer desperation of the Union as they started to kamikaze the Kalan ships to try to stop them from reaching Earth. The Union fighters look so cool. Ed ordering the crew to evac so he can blow up the quantum drive, and then the cavalry arrives. That scene at the end with the Krill captain seemingly having grown some respect for the humans and saying, "Avis has brought us together," and just looks like the beginning of something good. Maybe I'm getting some Enterprise era Andorian vibes from the Krill, and all of a sudden, and I loved it. They packed so much into this episode. I'm starting to wonder if it had an extended runtime. The pacing was so darn good. If I had to scourge up a single nitpick, it would be the scene where Ty was calling Yafet to help him. It was a bit flat, but then again, I can criticize the child actor, especially one so young. I just loved it. The show is just Seth MacFarlane and the crew deserves all the kudos. It just, again, like it felt like so much was happening that this could be like a 3-hour episode. Like it could have been a cinematic movie.
Yeah.
String these 2 episodes together, add some more extra stuff. Boom,
you
got 2 hours and 20-minute movie.
Yeah.
It's just...
It's so funny because the Krill think everyone's soul is besides them. Well, Kalen's literally don't have a soul, so I mean, it's like literal.
They'll be like, whatever, we don't care about that. Like, it's like an insult to everyone else, but to them, they don't care.
Yeah.
Let's see. We'll get another long one here. Dogmatic Cur. This was quite a wonderful episode and delivered so many points in the best ways for the characters and story. I particularly love how they kept the inertia from the first part of Identity and allowed the story to keep its gravity and make it clear that this was a serious, real, there will be repercussions and consequences for everything that has happened. I really love that they revealed about the nature of Isaac's names, just how everyone thought it was a reference to Asimov, but it ended up being Newton, which when you consider Isaac in his perspective, makes infinitely more sense than, and it was surprising for me and very cool. I actually wondered about the Admiral's last name, Halsey. I also wondered if it was a reference to Dr. Kathleen Halsey from the Halo universe, the creator of the Spartan program, clearly the mother of the Spartan 2 and the mind that she gave rise to Cortana. All worthy and wonderful references to me. I have no idea if the case, but I would be cool. I reminded of a particular wonderment of mine when I referencing the various ships that were being damaged and destroyed. So many great names. I'm not 100% certain, but I think there was a Hawking reference there was. And towards the end of which I loved. That's when Border's like, "Oh, the Hawking is down."
Yeah.
That was the big ship.
Yeah.
That got crashed, and it was
the big heavy battle cruiser.
And it's over I just love that scene where they're making that chase towards Earth. Then a bunch of other ships join in.
Yeah.
Oh God, I just love it's so cool.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it's all the desperation.
Yeah, they can't get to Earth. They're right there. I mean,
and you do everything.
Yeah.
And every person on every single one of those ships wouldn't think for 1 second not to sacrifice their lives.
Yeah, you got to save the Earth. There's billions of people down there.
I love that stuff.
Oh,
God, do I love that stuff. To continue on, I wish that Tala have gotten the chance to put her fist through a Kalan unit's head, but I'm glad that the last underscored again how badass she is. The Zions are in general due to their own physiology. When she took that double pulse cannon blast to the chest and lived, I had a similar wish for Isaac to assert his physical strength, but I'm guessing ripping off Prime's head was good enough, though. Again, putting a hand through the head would have been way more satisfying. I'm glad that so much of the crew got the chances to shine, though, particularly Yanfei, from which I'm generally worried that when he got all part fried and then invading the Kalan's unit's body, and it was interesting seeing him interplay between the humans and artificial characters and things that are subtly coming to a head with Prime and Isaac. I hated that he had a get-go that the Prime referencing that he would get ancient human history as a reason to go all genocidal, but I also get that it's definitely did not necessarily have the time to give him a lot of nuances, the murder bots, about the genocidal tendencies. Yeah, like how you brought up slavery and everything like that.
But again, if you're looking for something, you're going to find it.
Yeah, within, since human recorded history, you're going to find amazing greatness and amazing
wickedness,
evil. Yeah. But that's just the nature of life. You can find that in every race.
But then you can look at, I guarantee you, we know all the history of what happens in Orville, but now 400 years, I bet you 200 of it's been peaceful.
Yeah.
It's in our future soul. What come on.
That
nothing changed?
Oh, but there's always the chance, but that's the chaos of the universe. You can't control everything. There were not enough good things to say about this episode and the space battle effects, and there's a little nods to tactics and tacticness that could go into such a chaotic battle. Also, seeing that use technology in play, their fighters, it was great it was great, but it's too bad that the recent deflector upgrade wasn't good enough or widespread enough to help tip the scales for them. I was thinking a short reference of upgrading the Orville shields when the Prime dismissed Isaac before the ensign's execution would have led to an initially playing the role of the flagship, being able to take much more of a beating than helping hold before the Krill arrived. It didn't happen, but it was still great that Ed asserting himself and making ready to make the sacrifice. If they had more time, could definitely have seen Ed get even doing even more, like covering Halsey's retreat, things are getting a little more dire, etc. It just McFarlane wants to be a space captain. Yeah. And he wanted to have that cool space captain.
But that's fine. I let him have it.
I love it. I absolutely love it. But again, not for a second did I stutter. No wavering in my voice. No worry. I'm going to blow up the damn ship. I'm going to take these bastards with me. Yeah. Get everyone else off the ship in escape pods. I love it.
And literally, if those Krill didn't come at that moment, what would have happened? He would have did it.
My only real complaint isn't even a complaint. I was rooting for Ed to go see Talea, but I understood that he had to stay on the ship for a while. I would have loved to see him make an appearance, since she's not a captain of a ship yet. I think it would have probably been too on the nose for everything else going on. Still, my heart longs for Ed and Talea to meet again and to work towards something wonderful, because as much as I like Kelly, I think that the ship has sailed, and I like their loving, familiar dynamic as it is for Ed. He needs something like a space vampire.
Yeah,
he needs space vampire. That's what he needs.
Exactly. But the thing is, guys, we have more episodes for that. I don't mind that wasn't in this episode. But it's so funny because I like it when they're on the planet and she's all talking to him when she's Talea, and she's like, "I like you better when you use contractions." I know the way how she says things so abruptly. That's just the real way.
Arc X. The whole plot was horrible, cliche, but whatever floats your boat. Well, if you're not going to give us, you're not going to point out what you didn't like, we really can't respond.
Cliche? Or you?
But here's the thing, though. Wow. But what did Claire say about cliches?
Yeah, cliches, yeah.
So there you go. Dr. Finn had your answer, so there you go.
That's all we can say. Gosh.
Again, I enjoy discord. I enjoy disagreements.
But you got to tell us why.
Yeah, but if you don't give us anything to go on, we can't do nothing.
Yeah.
Strange Unions and Unknown World says, the question is, did Isaac decide to betray his people was to save his friend, Ty, or was it to save humanity? What if Ty wasn't to be killed? What if Isaac betrayed his people? Yeah, but I just asked you that. I think
eventually at the end.
Like they're making their way towards the thing. They're making the final attack. I think on the bridge he would have done something instead of fighting back.
Yeah.
Because Ty just accelerated it, I think.
Yeah.
And when Ty hugs him and everything, it's like, oh, I love it. It's just such a good scene. I love it.
Yeah.
Will Adams. Good commentary as usual, but this episode was not nearly as good as the lead up to this episode. Of course, I think the lead up, because you have the cliffhanger ending. As much as I love Star Wars, I love Empire Strikes Back because it leaves you with all this doubt
and the dread.
I think but you can't have that in a conclusion.
No.
So I can see how that can waver and weigh.
But I'll refer to what you said a little bit earlier in this podcast when you said we need that sigh relief.
Yeah,
you needed it. Come on.
And I consider both these episodes to be one episode.
Yeah, I do too.
Not nearly as good as the lead up to this episode. I found the redemption for Isaac too easy. The Kaelon's plan, keeping the humans alive, made no sense after they said that the reason for doing so was to disarm the concerns of Earth might have upon seeing the Kaelon fleet. The reason this makes no sense is that their plan, as spoken, was to kill all biologicals. This includes the Krill and the Selayan. Without the ships and those races and the crews they would use in the same way, would simply attack the next race on the list. That is what they should have done with Earth. I did like the special effects and the music. I think Seth delivered on his pledge to make it an exciting series. As for Prime not deactivating Isaac, the first sign of rebellion, that this also did not make sense because it would have had himself in his memory of his own rebellion in a dozen lives, in a dozen little ways before rising up on the builders. I think because they're not hive mind.
No.
And I think he still saw Isaac as a not like a tool, but like a resource.
And because he knew the humans too.
Yeah.
More than they did.
And maybe it was this just came to my mind now. Maybe this was part of the sadistic nature, where it's like, oh, I'll keep that person that they cared about. I'll keep them on the ship so you can keep seeing the person they trust betray them.
Oh, yeah.
Was that another part of the evilness in them?
Yeah, not only that, you have to look logically from a machine. Okay, we did it as a cover. He knows Earth. He'll know how to get around their stuff better than we will. So it's kind of a twofold.
But then, like you're saying here, why don't they just download his brain and keep everything?
Yeah, but again, it's not the same. Like, remember, he made a distinction. He goes, we gave you the information what our builders did, but you didn't experience it. So he even knew the difference between the two.
Well, maybe he wanted to show Isaac this is what you do.
Yeah.
It's weird. They're not supposed to have feelings, but maybe they really do.
Yeah, at some level. And also, you were talking about, well, keep them alive. Well, they wanted it to appear that they're going to go on the bridge and say, oh, yeah, because they're coming in peace or whatever. So that's why they didn't kill any of the bridge or anything.
It's just one of the things where, again, you have to remember it is a TV show, too. So it's not like, we got to have, the crew can't just die.
No.
But I really wanted to know, so were they going to, because remember they talked about running out of space? Do you think they would have just set up shop on Earth?
Yes.
Build up their fleet some more, then move on to the next race?
Oh, yeah, and they would have probably all the other planets in the solar system, too.
It's so funny, but as soon as that happened, let's speculate. Earth goes down, all the other races in the Union, well, they're going to think we have to all combine.
Yeah.
We don't have to do a combined assault on Earth.
But they were so arrogant, they thought our superior technology will be enough. And they didn't realize, no, it's not.
Mad Scientist 916. If Isaac didn't spend 700 years on that planet, does he have the experience and growth of the biologicals to step up and save the Orville? I'm thinking maybe not. It's quite likely that years existed. He is now the oldest Kalon and has been pointed out that he had a chance to watch how biologicals grow and societies can evolve. Yeah, I know. He had that extra knowledge.
That's it. He went from the kind of seemed like how we are now to the point where they were spacefaring, going around their own galaxy. So, yeah.
Izzy's mom won. I find Kalon such an interesting comment on society and hatred. The downtrodden rise up. Instead of being better, understanding and growing from their experiences, they become what they hated. And the fact are worse, taking out their own rage over their history on people who weren't even born yet and had nothing to do with it. They don't despise enslavement. They don't despise enslavement and murder. The only object to their hatred when they are the recipient. Wounded beings would others. It's a very deep message in a comedy. Yeah, I know, right? A lot of people call it a comedy. But you see this even now today. It's get even time.
Yep.
I get to be the one to, I experienced this horrible event. Now, instead of knowing better, not wanting it to happen to someone else, now I get to
That's my turn now. Like you said, the thing is, I love this comic. I didn't even think of it that way. That's an interesting point. I love that comment.
Yeah, because
it's so true.
It is a commentary on society because you see that today.
Yeah.
Oh, these grievances that happened to someone a long time ago, now it's my turn to put it on you. No, you can't do that.
And the thing is, they can't even do it, and a lot of them experienced it firsthand. It wasn't like their ancestors. They experienced it, and they don't have a right to do it to people that didn't do it to them. Now, today.
Yeah, exactly. Tard Marcus Birkeland Jacobson. I think there will come an episode where people present Isaac and the Kalon's actions. Maybe he will be confronted by a wife of a guy who he sent into space, or maybe an episode where Ty's bullied and/or comes to a fight with some kids whose parents were killed in the attack. It can make for a great episode. Yeah, there's so many seeds that have been planted, and they can water
just on that own ship. More than the security was all killed. I mean, that's at least 30 people.
Yeah,
they have family members.
Just on the Orville, let alone the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people that died battling.
I would say it'd have to be tens of thousands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because every ship has, 300 people on it?
Yeah.
And they lost...
maybe over hundreds plus ships?
Yeah, there's a lot of dead people.
Yeah.
This will be like another, Earth Defense, this will be like a national holiday.
359 in Star Trek.
Pretty much. Brian C. Overall, it's a very good episode, but the resolution for Isaac, oh, hell no. I have loved Star Trek since I was a kid, but the one cliche that gets on my nerves is that as an adult, is how they never have any consequences for the traitor, and the show just moves on like nothing ever happened. You don't know that yet. That is what happened with the end with Isaac, and just killed and tried to kill all life on Earth after betraying and imprisoning his former crew members. Then he changes his mind last second, and all's forgiven and forgotten. But here's the thing. Even Dr. Finn, she said, well, forgiveness starts with one step.
Yeah.
And we can maybe work towards that.
But it's going to take time.
It's going to take time. So what do you say you do? Execute him?
But you contrast that, though. Odo did probably even worse than what Isaac did, and he didn't get executed. He didn't go through that.
Because it's supposed to show that we're better.
Yeah.
I do kind of agree with this, though. At least he could have done is strip him of his rank and commission of the Union fleet and granting him asylum as a Union citizen. At least integrate him and even tried for the crimes that he participated in. But the typical BS fashion, there was no consequences, and maybe the doc doesn't date Isaac for a while. See, it's more than that. I think they're going to... McFarlane hasn't done that yet, where he's planted a seed and then it just went away and nothing ever came from it.
No, he always
This is something that it's going to trace back. Like the other person said that there should be an episode where Ty gets bullied at school or something because you're still friends with that robot. And
But remember, then if we can use that parallel, then we have to say Sean Bohr should have been punished then because he almost destroyed the Orville.
Same thing, right?
Because it's porn addiction. But guess what? He saved those people and did the right thing. See, that counters. See, in their society, that seems to override that. So,
and again, PJ here is Avis Allah. I just think Seth MacFarlane is a huge atheist, but he shows both sides a lot. He does a good job of showing both sides of things. Mm-hmm. Yes, you can have that overbearing religion that says you have the right to kill everyone who isn't you, but at the same time, if it wasn't for that and these people, the earth would be gone. So which of these two things would you rather have?
Yeah, exactly. In that episode when they got the Union head and they're stabbing with a knife, that's something I could see, fundamentalists do. I could totally see that. But
I think but MacFarlane, I think, does a good way of showing that, there are good people who believe in religion. There are bad people who believe in religion. That's just called being alive.
Yep,
There's good and bad people who don't believe in religion too. Yeah. It's not like somehow if I don't believe in religion, I'm the best person there ever was. No, that doesn't determine.
There's ambiguity there.
Yeah. Prem Haya? Hi, really like your channel. Can I re-up your video on my channel and then keep the links on your channel? If you want to share our stuff, I guess you can.
That's fine.
Just give us credit.
Yeah.
I'm not. The more people who see the videos, that's the whole point.
Exactly.
So go ahead and share away.
Yeah.
Kilder, okay. Everything I wanted to happen happened in this episode. So happy about that. Especially the part with Isaac whipped out the effing head cannons and blew away all the other Kalons. Nice touch ripping the Prime's head off, though. I can sympathize with the Kalons being the slave thing. That sucks. It sucks that it shouldn't have happened to them. It was just true. Again, that tragic event that happened to you. But why push and make the circle go whole? Now we get to be the ones doing it.
Yeah, exactly.
That is always wrong. That get even time, I can't stand it.
Not at all.
Show the mercy that you wish someone would have showed you.
Yep.
Nope, I'm going to show the evil and the hatred that was shown to me. Tom Wilson. That was the best episode yet. Far better than a lot of the Trek episodes. Don't shoot me, but that was effing awesome. I agree with you. There's some.
No, I'm not going to kill the messenger here.
Yeah, that
me.
one. It's in the top 5 sci-fi things.
Oh, ever, of all time.
Yeah, right there with Trek and the pale moonlight and all that. It's right there.
Oh yeah.
They're both so good, but it's right there.
Well, when you talk about pale moonlight, I don't get me started. I could talk about that episode for days.
So good.
Days all in.
But
this is to the good guys.
Just over an hour. But
yeah.
That's the very last comment. We got them all.
I'm going to say this. I'm amazed at the detail we have. Because I thought this is such an action episode, but we really got a really thoughtful comments. I am surprised. Thank you for surprising me.
Every episode, I love the comments from all you guys.
Yes.
This show couldn't exist without the comments. That's all it is.
And the community at large.
The community at large. And I have got nothing but positive feelings and reactions, even when we disagree, from the Orville community.
Oh, yeah.
Over on Trekland, I've gotten some pretty nasty things. With
it's more toxic by far.
Way more toxic. So I'm glad that we're not like that.
Yeah.
At least here on this channel, we try to include everybody. Even the people that have said, I'm leaving your channel, you don't know anything. I invite you back. Let's have the conversation again.
Exactly.
I don't like the idea that, if you believe in one way, you can't be a real fan. You're not a real fan. Everyone's a fan.
Yeah. But the thing is, guys, this show's from the ground up, okay? Yeah. It's not like this is an established show that's been around for 20, 30 years. Like Star Trek, 50-plus years, Come on. You don't have to... A real fan. I don't like that.
Yeah, there's people who still do that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I know.
But thanks, everyone. All the comments are very enlightening. I get to think different ways and see different viewpoints. It's just, that's what sci-fi is all about.
Exactly.
To get you to think, maybe not change your mind, but at least you thought about it.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what I love about it so much.
And I always say, and I will say this again, personal level of this episode, everything you could have saw, maybe it could have went the other way. Mm-hmm. I really thought that. Maybe he would have went along with their plan and killed Ty. Maybe Earth would have been destroyed. I could see it, because that's how well I could see MacFarlane do that. That's when you know you got a good writing story and you got a good plot and premise going on.
You honestly didn't know where we're going. Everything's going to work out in the end. But in the back of your mind, you're probably still thinking, maybe it doesn't.
Maybe it doesn't.
And I'm glad they didn't do that. It was a simulation thing.
Oh, that would have been so. That would have been a cop out. I'm so glad. Thank you. They didn't happen.
But thanks everyone for the comments. We will keep doing these videos. We love every single one of you. Yeah. So keep it going. Join the Discord server. Continue the conversation there.
Yep. Tomorrow's new episode.
Yeah, there's a new episode. and we'll have that review up the next day. And thanks for watching, guys. I've been your host, Crimson Sin.
Everything PCA.
See you guys later.
See you later. Bye.
Crimson Sin here. Thanks for watching the video. If you're enjoying the content, be sure to sub, like, share, and hit the bell for notifications so you don't miss a single upload. If you have any tips or story ideas, hit us up on Twitter at C15 Podcast, or better yet, join our Discord server, link in the description below.